The month of November is officially done. We're here on December, and oh my goodness, 2021 is almost to a wrap, and then we will be stepping on 2022. So I think this will be my last favorites video of the year, because then I will have the best of 2021. So hang on tight, we are here to dive into see what I have been enjoying so much for the month of November. So first product right here is the Tower 28. This is the Sunny Days Broad Spectrum SPF 30. This is a tinted sunscreen, and this has been kind of like my go-to, like my everyday sunscreen, kind of like moisturizer. And you know, actually I really enjoy not only the coverage, it does have more like a light medium coverage. I'm actually really impressed about the coverage for being, you know, a tinted moisturizer slash sunscreen, and also of the longevity of it. It feels very smooth on the skin, it's lightweight, it's not too heavy, it's not too glowy either. It has more of like a natural finish, and I do have dry skin, but I feel like these in comparisons with other, you know, tinted moisturizers slash SPF, sometimes they can get really glowy, and this one doesn't, but yet it keeps my face hydrated and moisturized. Really beautiful. Kudos to Tower 28. I mean, every time that they do a product, they do it so well. So in love with it. And also, again, I have been using a lot of sunscreens, and one sunscreen that I had been gravitating towards, this one doesn't have any kind of like tint to it, is by CHANTECAILLE. This is the Ultra Sun Protection Sunscreen with SPF 45. This is also a primer, and I have been using it again in conjunction whenever I had to use a foundation or not, or just on the go. Is so imperceptible on the skin. It's such a amazing sunscreen. It actually is very moisturizing, very beautiful. And here the main ingredient is avobenzone. So you see, and it leaves your skin so moisturized, so beautiful. And you may be wondering, why, Jacqueline, so many sunscreens? And also on the same lines of the CHANTECAILLE, I have been using the Unseen Sunscreen with SPF 40. This one right here, it has more of like kind of like a silicone type of effect, but I find it so easy to apply, mostly when I'm on the go, which it has happened a lot during this past month of November. Unfortunately, my son, he hasn't been feeling well since September, and he got hospitalized on November, and I have been in the road a lot, so I had been trying some products. And as far, I mean, going back, I don't want to dig too much into this, but as far as base products, I had been doing a lot of like sunscreens or tinted moisturizers, stuff along those lines. Another one that I have been enjoying quite a bit is that Glowscreen by also Supergoop. This has an SPF of 40. Now this one is different than the Tower 20. This has a little bit of glow. It does have a little bit of a tint, but nothing like this. This one right here, you can find it in different shades. This one you cannot. And then if I want something that has a little bit more coverage, not as much, because this has very light coverage, and it's actually the foundation that I'm using today is by SISLEY. It's a Phyto Nude foundation. This is lovely. It does have, yeah, very minimal coverage, but it wears really beautifully, and when it fades away, it doesn't fade away in a very, you know, like in an odd way. It's actually very skin-like. It's not too glowy. I really love the packaging too. It's great for traveling. It's small, although it does have the 1 fluid ounces, a typical one as any other, you know, type of foundation, like the typical size, but it's so compact. And also this is kind of like silicone, kind of plasticky, and it actually is great for traveling too. So those are the bases that I have been rotating. Now as far as concealer, it has been the same concealer, you know, my Tom Ford Shade Illuminate, I love, but also I tried this Sisley Eye Concealer with botanical extracts. Now I'm using this more as a color corrector, so I'm using it under my concealer. By the way, I will be leaving all the products that I'm talking about today on the description box below, and then I will be doing a separate video kind of like a get ready with me, showing you how I achieved this look right here. So stay tuned for that one right there. But yeah, this one right here, it's a beautiful, again, to me, a color corrector, because it doesn't have, you know, enough coverage to use it as a concealer, but it's nice, lightweight, peachy in tone that really helps to cancel out the, you know, these dark under eye circles that I have, and then I can go with my concealer. But really, really good product from SISLEY, which I'm really happy that I tried this past month of November. Now going into, let's do eyeshadow palettes. Let's go for this. So an eyeshadow palette that really had me impressed this month has been by Huda Beauty. This is the Rose Quartz eyeshadow palette. Oh my goodness, this is gorgeous. I really love the color story. Every time that I have used this palette, I just love my makeup. I love my eyeshadow look. I love that it has a variety of neutral tones. There's no really warm tones right here, with the exception of this one right here. But other than that, if you like more mauvey, kind of like deep mauve, purple tones, pinky tones, dusty tones too, this will be a palette that is just incredible. The formulation that Huda Beauty is bringing on this palette is stunning. These shades right here are out of this world. Out of this world. You don't need to wet them to look incredible. Look at that. This is just creaminess. They do have so many emollients, and I don't find any like fallout. Honestly, the matte shades right here are stunning. And then as far as these shades right here, you have to watch my review, but it doesn't look really like a petri dish as many people have said before. It actually looks like quartz, you know, like little crystal quartz that they have been crushed and that they are encapsulated on this kind of balmy texture. I will say, do not, I mean, again, if you have watched my review, if not, and you're interested about this product right here, please go ahead and watch it after you watch this video right here. But I will not suggest it to use it over top any eyeshadows. I will say, if you want something that it looks kind of like unicorny kind of look, just use it directly on the eyelids. But yeah, don't use it over top of anything. But honestly, what an amazing, incredible formulation from Huda Beauty. I'm talking about, these are actually face palettes, and these are from NATASHA DENONA Her Glam face palettes. Again, I reviewed these two right here, and oh wow, these are incredible. NATASHA DENONA, she has an eye for creating eyeshadow palettes and palettes in general. Now this one is a face palette right here, and although it looks very simplistic, you can achieve with, this is the light palette, you can achieve a daytime look as well as nighttime look. You have enough dimension. I really love that she actually gave us a blush and a highlighter, and I'm happy to say that she didn't put a bronzer. And you may say, why? You know, a bronzer will complete. Well, you know, a bronzer, then it will make the palette very specific, and I think these palettes, they don't need to be specific. Honestly, they cater, both of them, they cater for more skin tones than what you think. And I actually, again, love this formula, and I feel, honestly, if you have these palettes and the Rose Quartz palette from Huda Beauty, that they are, I feel like, the same formulation as far as metallic shade goes, because the creaminess and intensity of them is the same. Is totally the same. You feel them and it just glides on, and there's no residue, you know, like it just transfer so well on the eyelids with, I mean, it's so smooth. And this palette right here, this works also for light skin tones. Don't be afraid of it. Yes, you may get a deeper kind of, you know, like look, but nonetheless a beautiful look. Stunning. Love a little bit more of this deeper, a little bit of this taupey tone right here. I mean, these palettes are just stunning. The matte shades are beautiful too, and I love this blush, this specific blush from the deeper palette. It has a little bit of that yummy terracotta tone that looks so good with so many different makeup looks. I mean, it's gorgeous, and it does have this kind of like creamy, spongy kind of texture. It's not super creamy, but actually more sponge-like, which is another formulation that I had been seeing in other brands too, and I'm so happy that Natasha Denona is bringing this to us. The highlighters in both palettes are stunning, but they are mighty powerful. So if you want to be like out there, I mean, I shouldn't say like super loud. It's not something like say Ofra Cosmetics or, you know, back on the days highlighters. These are highlighters that really blend with the skin so well that they don't leave a trace or marks or anything like that. These are really good highlighters, but they are more like blim, potent out there. Yes. And I know that they had come back in stock at Sephora. And by the way, when you're watching this video, let me check on my phone right here. It must be December 2nd or December 3rd. But if it is December 3rd, Sephora has a 20% off, shouldn't say sale. It's like one quote-unquote coupon code for beauty insiders. So whether you are a VIV, a Rouge member, or an insider, you can use it one time only. But I think, I mean, that's great, 20% off, like one shot. So if you forgot to grab something, you need to replenish something, or something that, you know, went out of stock during the holiday savings event, this is that time. I will be leaving also the details, what's the code, on the description box below, so that way, you know, if you're shopping, go for it. And by the way, I want to say thank you so much to all of you who uses my affiliate links during this holiday season and throughout the entire year, because that's the way that you support my channel, and I'm just so appreciative of that. It doesn't cost you anything. You can do it. You don't have to do it if you don't want to, but it is the way that I'm able to actually purchase more things so I can get them here to review them for you. And I'm just like so very appreciative of you guys, so thank you so much. Okay, continuing with eyeshadow palettes, there's two more palettes that I want to talk about. One of them is by VISEART, and VISEART quality of eyeshadows, it's always exquisite. And this one right here is Cashmerie. This one right here, another cool tone dream, and I'm just so happy. You see, Huda Beauty brought us a cool tone that is not your typical cool tone. Say like the Glam palette from Natasha Denona, which is like an amazing palette, but it's not based on your typical gray tones and, you know, neutral browns and all of that, but they are, you know, diving into these mauve tones, more plummy tones, fall tones, that they look just stunning. I mean, this is fall in a palette, and this is just, I think, one of the most beautiful creations that I have seen so far in eyeshadows. Performance is beautiful. Look at this shade right here, the creaminess. You have amazing shades. The matte shades from VISEART are amazing too. They are not the ones that they actually, you know, like fall out, that they have a lot of kickback. No, they blend so well. Look at those shades right there, and those stunning, beautiful shades. I love, again, the creation right here. I think you have a really good balance between matte shades, some metallic shades, a satin shade right here that is lovely too. You have a lot to do right here, and this can take you, you know, for a beautiful, elegant holiday look, also for a morning time look, something more subtle too. I think they did a great job with this creation. Now, going to the other face palette that I wanted to talk about, it is from YSL, and I did it was a try-on of new makeup, try-on haul, whatever you want to call it. But you know, YSL, if you haven't tried their clutch palettes, because I have tried their queens, I think they are queens, yeah, they're not quads, they are queens, and they are okay. But these specific, the ones that they come in the clutch, the formulation is really good. Another creamy shade that boom, kaboom, amazing. The matte shades are more like creamy, and here you have to do a beautiful eye look, and you can use these three shades right here as blushes. Look at this tone right here as a blush. I know it looks intense, but if you use it with the right brush, I think you can get a spectacular look. I don't want to swatch absolutely everything because it will be too much, but if you have been eyeing the YSL palettes, I think out of all of them, I love so many of them, but perhaps this one right here is the one that may be a little bit more user-friendly in the sense that it doesn't have a specific color story. There's a lot of like metallic shades right here. You get your blushes right here, so it gives you more room to, you know, use it throughout the entire year. Great job from YSL. And then another palette that I haven't been able to feature it here on my channel, but I'm pretty sure you will see it in the upcoming video where I create this makeup look. It is from Giorgio Armani, and this is the Eccentrico palette. This palette right here could look intimidating and kind of like, oh my gosh, she's beautiful to look at, but what I do with it, you can do so much with it. You can use it for eyeshadows, you can use it as a highlighter palette, blush right here, you have a matte blush right here, you can have this blush right here that has a little bit of a sheen without having any glitter. You have topper shades right here. This shade right here, it's gorgeous. It has a little bit of peach and coral, a tiny bit of gold tone, a little bit of lilac in it that is just extraordinary. Honestly, this palette right here, it's fun. It's a fun palette. Don't be scared about it if you have been eyeing it, and if you're a person that likes to play with makeup, enjoy makeup, you know, that you are just not scared to, you know, play with makeup and just have fun, you will love this palette. The performance, I was like, oh well, I love Giorgio Armani, but when I saw this palette, I was like a little bit like, you know, is this, you know, it looks too pretty to really work as a makeup, you know, but more like a, you know, a palette to have it for, you know, collector purposes. But no, it works wonderful. So awesome palette from Giorgio Armani right here. Let's move into blushes. So as far as blushes goes, I will say from this palette, the two shades that I show you, mostly this shade right here, I really love it, the ones from YSL, but the blushes that had me completely floored. I'm like, wow. Victoria Beckham Beauty. Honestly, I mean, I have tried everything from her line at this point, and she knows what she's doing. There's no question asked about it. She knows what she's doing, and yet her cream blushes are amazing. All the shades, I have a full-on review, side-by-side comparison swatches on natural light, and you can see everything of it. The shades that I mean, all the shades are beautiful, but the shade that has really enamored me, and you know it because I mentioned it on that video, is Rollerskate. It's this punchy, kind of neon-y kind of shade that honestly, it can perhaps look a little bit of like, oh my gosh, that's gonna be too much, and right now full time, but no, it blends beautifully. It doesn't have a lot of translucency, which I like, but not only that, for being a cream blush, it lasts the entire day. I mean, I'm telling you, 9-10 hours, the blush will stay there on your face. It will not go away, and you see how beautiful that looks. I mean, all the shades are beautiful. There's another shade right here that I have been using also quite a bit when I have very simplistic makeup or no eyeshadow, just, you know, kind of like mascara on, is the shade Major. It's more of like a muted kind of pinky neutral shade. Again, stunning. I mean, here, seeing it on the arm is not the same. If you want to actually, you know, like take a look how it looks on the cheeks, I will highly suggest you to go and check my review right there and see the swatches. But oh wow, I mean, blendability, the longevity, the shade selection. I mean, she gave us pretty much all the shades that we need to, and truly beautiful. Going into brushes, yeah, I try. Well, I had it too. You know, Sonia G never fails. To me, it never fails. I mean, I have tried pretty much every single brush from her. Perhaps if I don't have 2 or 3 from her, that's at the most. But the Niji Pro brush from Sonia G, I think it's sold out by right now. But it will come back in stock because this is a permanent brush on her line, and this is a wall brush. This brush is perfection to apply bronzer, even if you want to, you know, like to set your makeup with finishing powder, but I think for bronzer application, it is so soft. The way that picks up the product, it picks it up from here. As you can tell, it is a little bit pinched at the ferrule, but yet it fans out just a little bit. But on the top, the way that the bristles were cut, you have this top right here is where you are going to get the product, and then you see the cut of the bristles slanted right here. It creates the perfect way to do that airbrush finish of your bronzer. Genius. And then the size of it, the size is perfection. I mean, applause to Sonia G. I mean, she loves brushes. She's a brush collector, so when she came with her line, she has such a big concept of what she wants to do, and that combined with the artistry of Japanese brushes, foodie brushes, you get these marvelous. I mean, like this right here, it's top favorite, one of my favorite bronzer brushes. Amazing. Congratulations, Sonia G. And by the way, I purchased this myself. This wasn't sent to me from Beautylish or Sonia G. I don't receive nothing from Beautylish, so just to let you know, I purchased it myself and I'm so happy I did. Okay, friends, and then going into other brushes, actually BK Beauty came out with their travel set. Congratulations to Lisa and the BK Beauty team. They sent me these over, but I have been loving so much this little travel pouch because it has served me quite a bit. I had been a lot in the road. But this set comes with 3 eyeshadow brushes, that 203, 207, and 202. The 202 is the one that I use quite a bit here on the channel. You have seen me, but if you can tell, these brushes are not super small. This is my 202, the one that, you know, I had it from before, and this is the one from the travel set. And as you can tell, I mean, it's a smidge shorter, but that didn't affect the actual design of the brush itself, which I'm so grateful for. Then you have a blender brush, and then you have kind of like a smudge brush too, which is perfect. Then you have the OG. This is the 101 brush, the foundation brush that is exquisite, amazing. I mean, the way that it spreads foundation is great. Mostly if you have a light foundation like the one from SISLEY, you will really appreciate this kind of foundation brushes because it actually not only spreads really well the product, but it doesn't absorb all the product, and it actually gives you the most out of your foundation. So if it has a light coverage, it's not that you can really build it to medium, but it will give you a little bit more coverage than if you were to use a sponge. Really good one. And then the 107 brush, this is perfect for bronzer. I actually like it a lot for blush, and you can actually use it also to set your makeup. So this is a multi-purpose brush. So great set from BK Beauty. And then talking about BK Beauty, let's go really quick to lips. And I have been loving their Everlast lip liners. The one that I have been gravitating towards the most is Warm Spice, and it may be because, you know, it's more of like a neutral, not super brown tone, but it has a little bit of brown in it. It does have a tiny bit of pink in it, so it makes it really perfect for, you know, your lips but better and really line your lips. Beautiful lip liner. I mean, all of them are truly lovely. They are all have little, you know, differences, a little bit more pinky, a little bit more cool tone, just perfect. But they are long wearing, they are not tagging or pulling, they are creamy but not super creamy that you will feel like, oh, it's gonna go everywhere. No, it's not. I mean, honestly, Lisa did an amazing job. And then as far as the lipstick goes, oh wow, all these lipsticks are incredible. I'm just so impressed of the formulation. It is more of like a satin formula, but without too much shine to it. They are creamy without being too thick on the lips, and they don't emphasize the lip lines. That's key. That's so key right there, because sometimes when lipsticks are too creamy, they tend to emphasize the lip lines and or gather. This one doesn't. And also, for being a creamy formulation, it is quite long lasting. I wouldn't say that you don't have to reapply it because I will be lying about it, but they last a good time on the lips. And the one that I think I have been using quite a bit is the shade Kindness. I think it's a beautiful kind of pinky nudie shade for every day, very easy to use, lovely shade, lovely color. Let me, do I have room right here? I have room right here. There you go. You see, this is kind of my lips but better kind of shade. Oh, it's stunning, beautiful shade, and love the packaging too. It does feel a little bit more luxurious, it's magnetic, it's weighty too. I mean, beautiful presentation, and I love the color of the actual component too. It's really pretty and very feminine. Okay, since we have already dived into lipsticks, let's continue with lipsticks. There are actually two lipsticks from Tom Ford. Sable Smoke, I think I feature on my October monthly favorites, I don't remember, but this one, if you have a very smoky eye look and you want a nudie lip that really, like, you know, like kind of like, it's not concealer like at all whatsoever, but it's kind of that perfect nude shade, you will love this one. And then another one that I actually purchased at the very end tail of the Sephora Holiday Savings Event sale is the shade Flesh. Another yummy, more beige in tone kind of nude shade, also very, very pretty. I mean, both of them are lovely, both of them incredible. I love the formulation from Tom Ford, honestly. I mean, don't get me wrong, Tom Ford, so good. And then the lipstick that I'm wearing today is from Hermes, and this is in the shade Rose Tamisé. And you know, guys, that I love this shade on the nail polish of Hermes, and I think it's gorgeous. I mean, like, it goes for the season, it goes with my top too. Liking it, I'm feeling all the fall vibes. I think it's just super pretty, and this is in the matte formulation, but to be matte is very creamy. I mean, when you glide it on, it's just like putting a satin lipstick like that. That's how it feels, but it does have a matte finish, but it's not your typical matte finish that looks very drying. No, it actually looks, you know, like very natural, kind of like, you know, your lips in a healthy stage kind of look, more than a true matte formulation. Honestly, I love Hermes lipsticks. I mean, I don't want to say that I cannot wait for more highlighters or actually bronzers, but in a way I do. I want to see, you know, what else Hermes has in-house for us. Perhaps 2022. That's okay if they go slow because they are expensive. And then if you have been looking for a lip oil that actually hydrates your lips, that makes your lips look more pouty, more juicy, more beautiful, Merit has it with their lip oils. Now I have the shade Marrakesh, and then I went ahead and picked up the shade Taupe. This is again another perfect nudie tone, but that you can use it every single day. You can apply perhaps a lip pencil underneath or just go straight. It does have a little bit of opacity, but it makes your lips more like glamorous, like, oh, you have a little bit of fillers in there. No, they are my natural lips, but you know, enhanced with this lip oil from Merit Beauty. Honestly, one of the best lip oils in the market. Continuing with lipsticks, Lisa Eldridge and their Velvet lipsticks. Now, I missed on Cinnabar, but I was able to pick up Velvet Petal and Velvet Intrigue. And in fact, I upload, when you're watching this video, perhaps was 2 days ago, my review on the Lisa Eldridge foundation, which I will talk about in a second. But there you go. I have here, this is Velvet Petal, which is more pink in tone, and it actually resembles a petal of a rose. And then Velvet Intrigue, which is more of a nudie tone shade with a little bit of peach in it. Truly, I mean, gorgeous. To me, this shade right here, Velvet Petal, is like an everyday pinky shade. I mean, like, the lipsticks from Lisa Eldridge are amazing. And don't think I have forgotten to talk about the Lisa Eldridge foundation. Honestly, I have used it the day that I did my review, and then I used it one more time. As you can tell, I have a mess right here. I haven't bought it just yet, but you have to watch my review. I have to be very honest with you. When I was applying it, I was like, this is a matte foundation and I'm not gonna like it. And I'm like, oh my gosh, let's see. But wait and see that after like about 30 minutes to an hour, the foundation starts to become one with the skin, and it becomes a natural, gorgeous foundation. Doesn't have luminosity, it doesn't stay matte, but it actually is true skin-like. The only thing that I will have to say though, the second time that I tried it, I went ahead and did what I suggest on my review, and it was to use my Bobbi Brown. This is the vitamin enriched face base, and it really helped out because on this area right here, mostly during winter time, this is my driest area. I do have dry skin for the most part, mostly on the perimeters of my face, and then here I have it normal, and in fact right here is becoming a little bit on the oily side. Things are changing on this side right here, but wow, what a beautiful foundation. The only thing that I will have to say is like the shade 9, it kind of matches more my neck, not this part right here, but this part right here, which Lisa suggests to match, you know, this area right here to this, but and I will not disagree with her on that part, but I like a little bit to match this area right here more than this, because I usually kind of spread my foundation from here all the way to here, and then everything kind of like matched together. So 9 could be a good match for me. I actually applied it on my review, the shade number 12 and the 14 side by side, and I think perhaps I like the shade number 12 more on me, so I think I'm gonna end up grabbing that one. Hopefully it's still available. Honestly, I haven't been able to check her website and see what's available and what's not, but such a good foundation. I mean, from the blister cards, so good. And you know how I was talking to you about that this area right here is kind of changing for me. It used to be more normal, but right now I feel that it's becoming a little bit more oily right here where I have my enlarged pores. So I have been using more and more. Usually I don't use setting powders pretty much at all. If you haven't followed me, you know that already, but one that I truly trust and that I have been like, I think I need a little, is my Chantecaille, that Perfect Blur finishing powder. This is in the light medium, and this is the new packaging, the pebble packaging. Isn't it so pretty? It's so beautiful. And yes, it does blur my enlarged pores right here, but at the same time it doesn't make my makeup look cakey. I mean, it's such a thin powder, beautiful formulation. There's a reason why there's so much hype about it, and that is so hard to get your hands on it because usually it sells out, but I have seen it on this compact right here in several other retailers, so I will make sure to find it and to put on the description box so that way it's easier for you to find, because I know it sells out so fast. Okay, and then for my mascara, I have been actually digging back again into my Gucci mascara quite a bit. I really like how natural it looks, but how defined my lashes look, and there's a little bit of volume, and there's lengthening for sure. I mean, my lashes nowadays, they are not as long as they once upon a time were, and this is such a great mascara. And then an eyeliner that I'm like, if you watch, I think a week and a half ago, I did try new makeup, the Hindash eyeliner. I was floored. Hindash, wow, you know what you're doing. Obviously, it's like having the signature of Hindash on your eyelash line. Honestly, like that. It has a felt tip applicator, super thin. It's bendable, but not super bendable that it will go all over. It glides with easy. I have a bumpy road right here. I mean, I have hooded eyes. I have mature skin. It's just bumpy right there, and this, whoop, it goes like a dream. So easy to clear in, and also I like the finish of it because it's not super matte. It's not glossy or shiny. It's right in between. So I mean, an eyeliner will never really look natural, but it doesn't look like makeup, you know. Super good product from Hindash, and it doesn't bleed either, which that I'm so grateful for. And then for nail polish, Hermes again with Rose Baltic. This shade right here is gorgeous. It does have a little bit more of translucency. If you're familiar with a jelly kind of nail polish formulation, that's what it is, this right here, which I find out that a couple of my nail polishes from Hermes are like this formula, kind of translucent. So really beautiful formulation, and it actually lasts quite a bit on the nails. It doesn't chip so easy. If you wanna have full opacity, at least with these shades, at least 3 to 4 coat. Yes, I said it. Otherwise, you will get more of like kind of like a French manicure situation, kind of more, you know, more natural, but beautiful nonetheless. Okay, friends, now going into fragrances. Oh my gosh, I have been, wow, in love with Montal Sensual Instinct. Ooh, this fragrance right here. So beautiful. Okay, so when you spray it at first, it may recall a little bit of, like, say, Bon Number 9, a little bit along the lines of Baccarat Rouge 540, but it's not. It will take you to a beautiful journey. It does have this beautiful vanilla, amber, roasted coffee kind of scent that is just so sensual, and I love that Montal fragrances. They are unapologetic. They are, I don't want to say loud, but they are present, they are out there, and they last all day long. I mean, honestly, the projection is beautiful. I will say more than an arm length of projection, a little bit more than that, but it's not offensive to others, and it's not overwhelming that, you know, certain fragrances sometimes can cause a headache. This one doesn't, and it's more of like a gourmand kind of fragrance, but very sophisticated, a little bit on the boozy side. Oh my gosh, this is beautiful. And if you have been eyeing this fragrance or any kind of niche fragrance, this is not in partnership or sponsored by Twisted Lily, but I do have a code with Twisted Lily. I will be putting it here on the screen so you can get 10% off your purchase. I mean, they carry from Montal, they carry Francisco Jogan, they carry Parfums de Marly, they carry Creed, and many more niche fragrance brands that you will love. So I will make sure to leave it on the description box below for your convenience. And then another fragrance that I have been loving mostly for daytime is actually Oriana by Parfums de Marly, and I'm just so in love with this fragrance too. This one is, it is kind of like a little bit of a gourmand fragrance, but more on the fresh side. I think it's more of like a daytime fragrance. It's completely different to the Delinas. All the Delinas completely different. This one has more of that orange blossom. It does have whipped cream, I know, marshmallow, which also, you see, it has that orange blossom, but it has also grapefruit, and it has a little bit of mandarin. But at the same time, with that marshmallow, it does have a little bit of musk. It brings a little bit of that warmth, and then the whipped cream, it just brings a little bit of that lactonic kind of, you know, note to it. It's beautiful. If you love from Kilian, Love Don't Be Shy by Kilian, it's not the same one, it's not identical, but they are right there on that same family. You know, it's bright, it's sweet, but at the same time it's complex, but then it's fresh again. You know, it's a beautiful fragrance. To me, it's a morning fragrance more than anything. Love the bottle. This is to me an everyday fragrance. Ooh, stunning Oriana by Parfums de Marly. Gorgeous. And then for my hair, I have to tell you, money. You're gonna be like, what, Jacqueline? This is by Chris Appleton and Color Wow. This is a hair mask. It's kind of like a silicone kind of mask, but it makes your hair, you see this shine? I wash my hair in the morning, and this shine that you see right here, you see that? Is this. It's like if I had to spend a lot of money, you know, to get this hair, and it's this mask is incredible, and it doesn't weigh down your hair. It's just so good. It makes it smells wonderful, and it just makes it feel silky and manageable, and you want to just keep touching it. It's just so good. It's such an amazing mask, and honestly, I'm gonna grab at least 2 to 3 right now that I have the 20% off of Sephora, because they sell at Sephora, because it's such a good mask. I mean, I'm just so impressed of how it leaves my hair. I'm just so impressed. And talking about hair, my Dyson Airwrap, you know guys, I love these Dyson Airwraps so much. These I will buy it and rebuy it again if I need to. I don't need to because Dyson also does really good quality products, and this is how I style my hair. And if you haven't watched it yet, I have a full-on like hair care routine and how to use my Dyson Airwrap and how I achieve these waves. It makes it so easy to style it. I do have the complete system, so I have the brush. Honestly, I don't even use anymore my hair dryer from Dyson. I know that's hard to say, but that's true because the nozzle from this Airwrap is able to dry my roots, and it's just a breeze. Honestly, it's just a breeze. It's a game changer to use the Dyson Airwrap. Honestly, it is. And then my dry shampoo that I love is the one from Oribe. If you want a little bit more juice to your hair, more volume, there you have it. Yeah, that's Oribe. Oribe and the texturizing spray. And don't correct me, the name is Oribe. It's in Spanish and that's the way to pronounce it. I know sometimes, I mean, like when I pronounce, you know, English, because it's not my first language, French and other languages, you may come and correct me, but when it's Spanish, it's Oribe. And it's an amazing product. Honestly, if you want a really good texturizing spray that doesn't leave a film on your hair, that does the job, that it smells incredible, then you go for this one right here. And then last but not least, the Sol de Janeiro Rio deodorant. I know, Jacqueline talking about deodorant. You know, guys, I picked up 2 aluminum-free deodorants during the holiday savings event from Sephora, and one of them was this one, and this is the one that I have been using. And honestly, I was a little bit hesitant to try an aluminum-free deodorant because I have heard horror stories like breakouts, you know, like pain, you know, burning sensation, and honestly, sorry, you don't want to see my armpits, but this one has not caused any allergic reaction. The scent is a scent it's the boom boom cream scent, but in a very faint way, so it's not offensive, which I actually like more because honestly, my previous deodorant, the one that I have used for years, and it does have aluminum, I always bought it in the unscented version because the least that I want is to have a scent on the under. I don't like that. I don't know why, but I'm a person that I don't like a scent right here. And when I was like, oh, these have a scent, I don't know. I love the Boom Boom Cream scent, but I don't know if I want it on my deodorant. And actually, it doesn't smell like, it's just, you know, for the experience, but then it fades away. It doesn't leave white marks on my clothing too, and it actually does the job for me. I don't sweat a whole lot. I'm a person that I don't, you know, like, yeah, I don't sweat a lot, but it does the job for me. Okay, my friends, and I think, oh my goodness, we made it for this November favorites video. The next one will be my year favorites of 2021. I cannot wait for that too. That's gonna be fun. It's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be awesome. And now, my friends, I would love to know from you, what products have you been loving for the month of November, or what things have you been loving? It doesn't have to be makeup, hair care, skincare. It doesn't, you know, whatever you want to share with me, I would love to hear from you. And while you're at it, and if you haven't done so yet, I hope that you can give me that opportunity and subscribe to my channel. Make sure you ring that post notification bell so you don't miss any of my uploads, and come and follow me on my Instagram. If you like this video, do not forget to give it a thumbs up, also share with family and friends, and until the next time, I hope you have a beautiful, wonderful day. Bye.